Picture Evelyn. Call her Evie, 54 years young, though the mirror tells her she's carried more than her share. She's the kind of woman who's spent decades wakin' before dawn to pack lunches, ironin' shirts nobody thanked her for, smilin' through the ache in her hips so the family could keep pretendin' everything was fine. A school cafeteria lady by day, quiet prayer warrior by night. Her only daughter, Sarah, 28 and glowin' like a June rose, is gettin' married in 3 weeks. And Evie? She's been holdin' on to something sacred. Her own mama's wedding dress from 1962, ivory lace yellowed just a touch, pearls hand-sewn by a woman who raised 5 kids on a seamstress's wage after daddy passed too soon. That dress carried mama through vows, through births, through losin' everything but her faith. Evie promised herself it'd go to Sarah one day, but life got loud, and Sarah got busy. Now here's the knife twist nobody saw comin'. Sarah forgot about that dress. Flat out forgot, or maybe chose not to remember. Instead, she picked a shiny new gown from a fancy boutique, all sparkle and no history. Evie smiled, said nothin', swallowed the hurt like she'd swallowed so many others. But deep down, that dress was callin' her name. And then, the alterations lady at the little shop on Maple Street? She saw something in Evie's eyes when Evie brought in Mama's old gown just to look at. What happened next? Oh, darlings, it stunned the groom speechless, left the whole church holdin' its breath. It started small, the way heartbreaks do. Sarah called Evie one evening, voice all bubbly over speakerphone while the grandbabies laughed in the background. Mom, I found the perfect dress. It's modern fitted, with this train that just sweeps, you're gonna love it. Evie sat at the kitchen table, fingering the faded photo of her mama in that very lace gown. The one she'd kept in the cedar chest since the funeral 10 years back. She said, soft as always. What about Grandma's dress, baby? It's waitin' for you. Silence. Then Sarah laughed, light but sharp. Oh Mom, that old thing? It's beautiful in pictures, but it's vintage. Like really vintage. My wedding's contemporary. Evie felt the words land like cold rain. She whispered, it's not just vintage, Sarah. It's your bloodline. But Sarah was already talkin' about centerpieces. Evie hung up, stared at the wall, and for the first time in years, didn't pray out loud. She just sat in the dark. Weeks passed. Evie kept her routine. Up at 5, coffee for 1 now that the house echoed empty since her husband passed. At work, she smiled at the kids, wiped tables, came home bone tired. But every night, she'd open that cedar chest, run her hands over the lace, smell the faint lavender Mama used to tuck inside. One Saturday, she drove to the alterations shop alone. Mrs. Delgado, the seamstress, greeted her warm. Evelyn, honey, what's this beauty? Evie laid the dress out. My mama's. Thought maybe, just maybe. Mrs. Delgado's eyes softened. For your girl? Evie shook her head slow. She don't want it. But I can't let it rot. They talked for hours. About mothers, daughters, the things we carry that nobody sees. Mrs. Delgado said, let me hold on to it a bit. Sometimes dresses know their own story. Evie left it there, feelin' lighter and heavier all at once. Meanwhile, family gatherings turned colder. Sarah's fiancé Mark, a good man, steady job, kind smile, asked Evie once, you okay, Ms. Evie? You seem far away. She patted his hand. Just old memories, sugar. But Sarah rolled her eyes when Evie mentioned the dress again. Mom, drop it. It's embarrassing. The words stung like salt in a cut. Evie endured. She baked the wedding cookies, addressed invitations in her careful cursive, all while the ache grew roots. The week before the wedding, Sarah called in a panic. Mom, my dress needs last-minute alterations. The hem's too long. Evie drove her to Mrs. Delgado's shop. Sarah swept in, all excitement. Evie hung back. Then Mrs. Delgado brought out Mama's dress. Altered. Not ruined, transformed. The lace freshened, waist nipped just so, train shortened elegant. It glowed under the lights like it remembered being loved. Sarah froze. What is that? Evie stepped forward, voice steady for the first time. Your grandma's dress. I asked Mrs. Delgado to ready it, just in case. Sarah's face crumpled. Anger, guilt, confusion. Mom, I said no. Mark, who'd come along, looked between them, stunned silent. The air thickened. Evie didn't yell. She just said quiet. This dress carried women who loved harder than they were loved back. I thought maybe you'd want to carry that strength down the aisle. Sarah stormed out. Evie stood there, tears fallen, but head high. The suffering had peaked, but the surprise? It was only beginning. Have you ever felt invisible in your own family? Like the years you poured in, cookin', cleanin', prayin', sacrificin', just faded into background noise while everybody else took center stage? Ever watched your own child look right through the things that mean the most to you? Dismiss, like yesterday's news? I know some of you noddin' right now, tears prickin'. 'Cause it hits too close. Think about it. How many times have you swallowed, I matter too, just to keep the peace? Evie did it for decades. And maybe you have too. But what if one small, sacred thing refused to stay forgotten? What if that forgotten thing came back changed, stronger, ready to speak? That's where this story turns. The twist ain't loud, it's deep. It's the kind that makes a groom's jaw drop and a daughter's heart crack open. The real fire's about to light. Have you got your own forgotten dress story? Drop it in the comments below. Let's hold space for each other. Wedding day dawned crisp. Church pews fillin' with flowers and whispers. Sarah walked in wearin' the new gown, stunning, yes, but hollow somehow. Evie sat in the front row, hands folded, Mama's altered dress waitin' in the bride's room like a secret heartbeat. Mark stood at the altar, nervous happy, eyes searchin' for his bride. Then came the moment nobody expected. Sarah hesitated at the vestibule doors. Something pulled at her, guilt, maybe, or the echo of Evie's quiet words. She turned to the bridesmaids. Wait. She slipped into the side room, saw the lace glowin' soft. Tears hit fast. She touched it, felt the pearls Mama once touched. In that instant, every dismissal, every eye roll, crashed over her. She whispered, "Grandma, I'm sorry." Then with trembling hands she changed. The organ swelled. Doors opened. And there she was, Sarah in Mama's dress. Altered perfect, hugging her like it was made for her all along. The church gasped. Mark's eyes went wide, stunned, then flooded with something deeper than love. "Aw," he mouthed, "Sarah?" She walked slow, tears streamin', veil catchin' light like forgiveness itself. But the real shock, Evie didn't know. She'd stayed seated, preparin' for heartbreak. When she looked up and saw her daughter in that gown, her hand flew to her mouth. The woman who'd endured silently now as vows began, Sarah added her own, unscripted. "I promise to honor the women who came before, especially the one sittin' right there, who never stopped carryin' us all." Evie rose, walked to the altar uninvited but welcomed. Mark hugged her. Sarah hugged her tighter. The whole church erupted in quiet tears and applause. Betrayal turned to bridge. Pain turned to power. Sarah and Mark said their I do's with Mama's dress bearin' witness, lace whisperin' stories of endurance across generations. After the ceremony, Evie stood outside under the oak trees, wind touchin' her face like Mama's hand. Sarah came runnin', veil trailin'. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I see you now. I really see you." Evie pulled her close. "Baby, seein' yourself in that dress? That's all I ever wanted." They talked late into the reception, about the dismissals, the endurance, the quiet ways women carry worlds. Mark joined, listenin' respectful. For the first time Evie felt seen, not as just mom, but as the root of their strength. Life don't always hand us loud revenge. Sometimes the sweetest justice is quiet reclamation. A dress remembered, a daughter awakened, a family stitched back together with threads of grace. Don't let the world forget your worth. Hold on to your sacred things. Your stories, your heirlooms, your sacrifices. One day, they might just walk down the aisle and remind everybody who really built the home. If this story touched you, if it reminded you of your own quiet battles, hit that subscribe button so we can keep sharing these heart shifters together. Share your story in the comments. What's the forgotten dress in your life? Share with someone who needs to hear they matter. And remember, you are never invisible to the one who sees every tear. Until next time, keep lovin' fierce, keep holding on, and know you're never alone. God bless you, sweethearts.